All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwarash. Double honors unto my apostles and others of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim Nasiah pushing his word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom and shalom to the sincere sisters as well that are tuning in too. I want to do this quick lesson dealing with yesterday. I was driving yesterday morning actually, and I was traveling by this church down the street by my house. You know, it's a big church, not a mega church, but just a big church. And you know, one thing that I've noticed, so even over the last 2 to 3 years, these churches aren't really on, you know, Sunday mornings. People aren't going to these churches no more, man. You know, A144 and that truck that just passed by, man. You know, it used to be Sunday mornings, churches' parking lots would be jam-packed. But churches, you could tell churches have bought into the game. They you could tell that they get these grants for these food bank grants from the federal government, and you could tell that that's what these churches are all about at this point. But this church, you know, it was a massive food bank, or you know, yesterday, you know, and they do it normally, typically weekly, damn near weekly it seems. But this one was I mean, it was massive. It looked like if you've ever been to an amusement park, I'm talking about like a big amusement park, you know, and you gotta go, you know, all the parking and so on and so forth. It was lines of cars zigzagging all through the parking lot, man. You know, and that just showed me that you know, it's a struggle, man. You know, food is becoming a scarce resource. All right. And again, like I've done several lessons recently on this, dealing with the famine, man. You know, 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, Amos, the 8th chapter, you know, Amos 4 and 9, you know, Amos 8 and 11. You know, these are, you know, I'm driving at the moment, but these are scriptures that go into a lack of bread and water and resources, and you could see it. You know, these grocery stores are man, they're barely refilling. It don't matter what time of the day you go in there. You know, you could try to go in the AM, it doesn't change. You know, you go in at PM, it doesn't change. You know, this food is going as fast as it is because there's millions and millions of people in these metropolitans, these major cities. You know, everybody's in the same area. So, you know, again, like I said, just speaking on the fact that this food bank, it just goes to tell you the times that we're in. You know, what is that? Ephesians, the 5th chapter, tells us to redeem the time, for they are evil. Be circumspect, you know, and understand that, you know, people are struggling, man. You know, this is what's going to start making people cold. See, all of this goes hand in hand with the book of Matthew, saying, think not that I come to send peace. And also the scriptures say that was that Matthew 10, I believe, or Matthew 24. I get them confused. Salakia. I could look it up, but I'm driving. The love of many shall wax cold. Okay? And that waxing cold is going to truly show itself as people are not able to feed themselves as they once were, or provide for themselves, or provide for their families. You know, these are serious things that no man has ever taken lightly. Okay? So when people aren't able to fulfill their bellies, they're going to go crazy. All right? Matter of fact, 2nd Ezra 16, I believe, or 15 again, goes into the fact of sparing none. You know, they shall kick in doors for lack of bread. You know, that's when that coldness is going to really show itself, man. You know, right now, you know, you might not be able to go into the grocery store and get the food that you would prefer. You know, grocery prices are expensive. You know, but at the very least, I'm not saying that this is a choice that, you know, you should even have on your list, if you understand, you know. But I mean, at the very least, you could go to a McDonald's and go get you a hamburger and fries. And like I said, I'm not speaking to us in this truth that understand how effed up this food is. I'm speaking in general to the population. You know, at the very least, you can still go get you a $5 to $10 pizza and feed your family. You know, but when these places that sell cheap food quickly start to close down, start to not be able to maintain the demand, the cost of doing business exceeds the profits and the revenue, you're going to start seeing these people change. Okay? Like I say, these food banks, man, it ain't the stereotypical food soup line of what we were taught as children to believe in this system about. You know, the only people that go to food banks are poor black women or poor white trash or people that ain't got it. You know, and they're wearing shaggy clothes. You know, it's people going to these food banks in Mercedes, Range Rovers. You know, I seen a guy yesterday drop off, made a food delivery in a Mercedes Benz. I seen a guy. Now Rib was telling me somebody dropped off her Deliver Eats food in a Tesla truck. All right. So again, just because you may have a nice car, nice clothes, that don't mean shit. You know, because one day, think about America, and like we were saying yesterday at camp, after camp, we were talking. A lot of this world has been based off of credit. I was saying this at camp yesterday. This is a credit-based society. Everything is based off of credit. You know, so these people, damn near all of them, if not all of them, really, are living way beyond their means. All right? They're just living off of credit cards and credit lines and loans of money and so on and so forth. But the reality of it all is that the mass majority of the people are in the red, man. Whether they want to admit it or not, or whether they see it yet, or whatever the case may be, a lot of people are struggling. Okay, so you go, like I said, the food bank by my house. You see Mercedes, Range Rovers, you know, extremely nice cars. I'm pretty sure these bags of food that they're collecting are going to pretty nice houses as well. Again, they're not going to crack houses and trap houses and bandos and homeless people living on the streets. These are probably hardworking men and women. See, it's the lower upper class and the middle class are the individuals that are going to really feel this inflation the most. You know, like I said, again, I keep doing lessons on this because this is what's affecting the people right now. What is that? Revelation 6th chapter, I believe, speaks about the black horse and the wheat a penny for wheat, or a day's wage for wheat, you know, that's going into inflation. And that's what's coming. See, it's only beginning. You know, it's only beginning, and it's going to expand. And you know, Thawadi Yahaba Shemi Awashai, what made me, it just came back to my mind, what made me realize or think upon this heavily to do this lesson was, I remember years ago at this point, Venezuela, when Venezuela was dealing with hyperinflation, and they were dealing with a level of a famine, man. It was reports coming out of Venezuela. You had the people down there eating spoiled chicken, you know, whole chickens that's been gone bad for 2 weeks now, or rotting, you know that stench that goes on chicken. You know, they was eating that type of chicken. They was taking that chicken and soaking it in whatever substance, lemon water or vinegar or whatever the case may be, and they was eating that shit, man. They was eating chicken. Here it is. The chicken expired on the 1st or the 5th of the month, and a nigga eats. Imagine a nigga eating that chicken the 5th of the next month. That's what was happening down there. Okay, that's what's gonna come here. You know, it's happening fast. These food processing factories are going up in flames, disappearing off the map. The grocery stores are empty. The gas is high. The truckers are dealing with it. It's going to hit a head, come to a point sooner than later. And when it happens, the mass majority of the people are going to feel it. Because there's no level of preparation. There's no level of thought towards it. You know? I'm not saying to, put all your eggs in one basket and look at this from the element of a doomsday prepper or whatever the case may be. Not saying all of that. Matter of fact, I'm not saying any of that at all, really, because this lesson is not about what you as an individual or household should do for your household. All right? What this is about is speaking about the overall effect. So what you listening or me decides to set up a garden or put away some stuff, that doesn't mean that the world as a whole or the masses of the people are prepared for what's to come. See, there's a lot of things that used to be what was that? Michael Irvin said that, we're losing recipes, man. We're losing recipes. And there's some truth to that. Outside of, you might find some of the Northern Kingdom tribes, you know what I mean? Maybe like Benjamin and Levi, and even amongst that, that's still a small number. And what I'm speaking to is the women and men that know how to actually cook, cook beans, take dry beans and what to do with it and prepare it and so on and so forth. Things like that. It may not seem like a huge thing, but in reality, it's important. And certain important skill sets our people have no clue on, no thoughts towards. A lot of these houses don't have more than a day or two worth of food in them. When you could literally just maybe survive off of, rice and beans, peanut butter, certain things of that nature. A lot of people don't even have that because they're spoiled to the life that they're living. You know how many niggas out here eat chicken wings and Philly cheesesteaks every day and French fries every day? All right. So these are how these scriptures come. The black horse, Isaiah 19:1 on down. That's how all these scriptures come together, because when that lack of bread occurs, People gonna lose their shit, man. All right? In ways that, again, I'll give you another example with this famine. You had the Great China famine. You know, and personally, you know, I'm not giving credit to Moab for shit, but I'm saying I understand because it's still heathenistic. All right? But I'm speaking to the fact of why they're the way they are. You know, it's easy to find a video online of some Moabite, or if you don't know what that is, the so-called Chinese, eating some weird ass animal or weird ass thing out of, you know what I'm saying, eating something crazy out of the ocean, raw, throwing some soy sauce on that shit and some sesame seed oil and going to work. You know, the reason for that is culturally Chinese people went through a famine, and when you going through a famine, you're going to eat whatever you can get your hands on. And I'm not saying that that's the way that an Israelite should be, because even in the famine, you know, man, ain't no excuse for that shit. I don't give a damn if you ain't had no food in a week and some fucking pigs come by your way, man. There's no excuse for you to, well, you know, the Lord knows, you know, I'll repent and I'll just eat this pig. No, man. Your ass will die. Straight up. All right? And you know, a lot of Israelites, they're going to die that way. A lot of Israelites aren't mentally prepared for what's to come on any level. Mainly spiritually. The main thing I'm speaking on is spiritually. Because see, a lot of Jake, to them, it's all these things are cute. The wearing the garments, the fringes, the border of blue, and all of this extra stuff. It's all cosplay, you know. But the reality of the matter is that this has all been a testing grounds to fortify us for the times to come. You know, hey, we have a Day of Atonement that's coming up in September of this year. The Day of Atonement. If it wasn't for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and a Day of Atonement, or the idea of fasting, I wouldn't know that I'm capable of even going a day without food and water. You get what I'm saying? Like, even that in itself is a benefit to you. You know, a lot of people, matter of fact, not just Jake, a lot of people, especially Americans, are addicted to food. I always loved the scene in the movie Zombieland with Woody Harris, you know, and, you know, it was a zombie apocalypse. But the point of what I'm speaking to is he was kind of like going mad about looking for a Twinkie. You know, he wanted a Twinkie. Like, he was searching high and low gas stations, convenience stores, trucks, because the worst thing that can happen is in the world, you have people that experience stress. And I'm bad with this. I'll be honest with you. I'm bad with this. You know, I realized this the other week, literally recently, that whenever I'm stressed, right, you know, that's when I get as the world calls it, a sweet tooth. Like, when I'm stressed or whatever, you know, I just be like, damn, I want some pie or some cobbler, or, you know, not all the time, not every goddamn day, but I can admit to it and be honest about the fact of sometimes I'll binge on sweets, and then I'll be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I'll go a while, but it took me realizing, oh, this shit is stress. This is when I'm stressed. This is how my body or my mind reacts to being stressed in this regard. You know how many people deal with food and for stress, and, you know, outside, you know, we always think that people, you know, the first thing is you think of niggas with cigarettes and shit like that. But beyond that, you know how many black women and sodas, white people and sodas? All right? This is the world we live in. So when this shit hits the fan, people are going to lose their mind when they can't get certain things. All right? And that's why they're going to start kicking in your doors. A lot of people going to die over Snicker bars, man. I know that sounds crazy. A lot of people are going to die behind Snicker bars and Coca-Colas and, things that salt. A lot of people love salty food. Now, a lot of times these different things are testaments to your, what's the word? Minerals deficiencies and so on and so forth. Like you may have a mineral deficiency and your body is screaming for salt, sodium, that's natural. But what I mean is these different things when people's bodies aren't able to stick to the routine of what they're used to, you're going to start seeing the monsters, the psychos in them coming. You ever think about the Snicker commercial? All right. Hey man, you're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a Snicker bar. That's real. People get demons behind not having food. All right. So again, these shortages, these shortages are going to kick a lot of people's ass. So, hey, with that, I want to close this up. I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Makakwarash. Until next time, Shalom.